That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Do you need help?
Yeah,
Okay.
I always need help.
Do you have a presentation?
I do.
You have a laptop or?
Yep.
Right.
Laptop.
Okay.
Good to get up on the
Can I
thing.
start calling tomorrow?
His name is Greg.
Oh, Greg?
Hi, how are you? I have one already.
Just set it down for him.
Thank you.
You were
Thanks so
Greg.
much.
That's great.
Good.
I'm Greg.
Um,
He
Just
can be
set
Greg
it down
tomorrow.
for him and let's go. Come on, other people
he
need
wants
to
to.
set it down for him.
It's across the bear, I'll tell you. So my presentation is just a PDF document.
Slide over. Okay.
Let's get rid of this.
Get you the standard.
That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that really extra that I needed.
Good.
Yeah, I had to slow down with doing the video because of the time, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start it back up.
I love
And
that.
just use the stuff that's set up. That's my
I'm
time.
telling you.
I said, every time that you do it, you know, I get what you said. Try
The other tip I think is bundling. So try and do 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah, I do. And I've done any work.
It gets tough though.
It gets tough.
If it takes an hour to do one,
Yeah, I got it.
you might be 10 minutes off.
Yeah, I got it down.
Yes.
Okay. You're set to actually try doing the slideshow.
So.
You're actually,
Yeah. Well, it might flip to the other one when we do this.
This is
that's your screen background, right?
the Mac one.
So
Oh,
much
my
better
God.
now. It gets started early.
So what is happening? You got it.
We need to slide. Yeah, we need to set it to mirror.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's definitely a practice makes perfect.
Is this a clicker one?
I'm going to see.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
a Linda.
That'd be everything we probably should
I'll
do.
be right back. Really good. It's long.
Let me shut down one of the apps that are running. I'm thinking of Twitter rather than the background.
Okay.
So,
I
They just want that one character, or a little paragraph.
Or their video.
Yeah.
Or one video. It's just it's a constant battle. It's and
Nice.
the
Do you wanna kill?
now is that I do it occasionally.
Oh, no, it's all
I do it
cool.
for
We're good.
personal, like, I run a marketing company, and I don't think I've updated my business website. It's
awesome.
Which is horrible.
Like official. I never get one of these because I can never get the darn thing to work.
Cool.
I was like, this is just too much.
It can become.
Especially when you're the talent,
Oh, yeah.
you're the marketing person, you're the somewhat of a, the IT, the setup and doing your video.
Sure.
I mean, it's just crazy.
It is. It's a lot, and that's the thing is, as you start doing it, just figure it out.
Should we get going? Or?
Yes.
Is it 11?
11:03, man.
We good? All right, thanks everybody coming. You could be anywhere today and you're here. So it's pretty cool. Listening to me, Jesus. What did I do to deserve this? So my name is Greg Taylor, and I run a company called Marketing Press, a WordPress development company. And a lot of what we do deals with blogging and providing a platform for people to blog. So I'm going to do a presentation here called Becoming a Better Blogger. It's going to be a high overview. And what I kind of want to do is I want to tie common sense into technology, into best practices, and let's just see what happens from there. One thing about me, I'm a pretty informal, laid-back person, so at any time during this presentation, if you have a question, just raise your hand, ask it. Let's have a dialogue here. I don't want to talk to you. Nobody wants to be talked to. Whatever. Let's do it. So become a better blogger. A couple of things first. Oh, there we go. So you want to be a better blogger, but how willing are you to do the work? That's a question that everybody just needs to think about. Like, exactly. Right. Right? It's a lot of work.
Yes.
How many people blog here regularly?
Well.
Okay, oh, there you go. See? Okay, you are regularly. You beat me to the punch.
You got a little definition on
You
that.
fell further away. Awesome. This is going to be a good one. So, what's regular? Like, how often do you blog? Not putting you on the spot, whatever. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah. So I would say, because see, I do like 3 different sites. So let's see, twice a month.
Okay. But that's regular to you.
Yeah.
That's fine. You blog?
Yeah, mostly video stuff.
Video
but
stuff.
a
So
couple-
awesome. So talk about video blogging. How often do you, and when we're talking about blogging here, a lot of this pertains to the written word, but I know you're a video blogger. Roger's talking about video. So let's just use, like Clintus always talks about video. He's a video blogger. So let's just talk about it in whatever context works for you. So some of the terms are going to be interchangeable, so whatever.
Well, I want to do more of the text type of blogging, which is why I'm sitting in here.
Okay.
But, you know, for work video a couple times a month, for personal video stuff almost every day. You know,
Awesome. And why, just a quick question, we'll get off track for a moment. Why personal every day and work only a couple times a month?
Personal is just for, like, I do video for, like, just to capture my own family's
Cool,
experiences
okay.
and memories and stuff, and I have no interest in really growing that at all.
Right.
Anyway.
So it's like the newfangled slideshow. Like, you know, you
Yeah,
go to your
exactly.
grandparents' house. Well, I'm older. Go to your grandparents' house, set up a slide machine. Here's Disneyland, 1983.
Yeah, you have to grow an audience showing
Exactly.
stuff, just like
So, anybody else blogging frequency?
Almost every day.
Awesome. Awesome. So, it's a lot of work. And you guys already seem to know that it's a lot of work. So the thing is to become a better blogger, you have to be ready to put in the work. So I always say, check yourself here. It's like, are you willing to do the work to become better? Like anything. Nobody gets good at doing something if they're not willing to put in work, they're not willing to practice it. So, here's truth bomb number 1. Blogging is not for the lazy.
Right.
And I think that everybody here will already agree with that. If you want to be better at blogging, you can't be lazy. You have to practice what you do. You know, it is a lot of work. So I blog once every other week for my company. I have another blog that I contribute to called Tales of a Startup. And if anybody here would like to contribute to that, see me afterwards. I'd love to have other articles. I do that maybe once every 3 weeks, once every month. So I have 2 blogs there. So I have the Marketing Press blog, which deals with WordPress articles and things about my company and things that we're doing, things in the WordPress community. Tales of a Startup is a blog that I started a while ago. That is business things that I can't really talk about on my company blog. So I created another outlet, and you can have as many outlets as you want. But the thing is that all 2 readers that read Tales of a Startup, hopefully after today will multiply to, I don't know, 10 or whatever, know that I blog every 2.5, 3 weeks. So that's regular to them. So this is what we're going to talk about. The why, the what, the how, the who, and the when. So just real quick. These are the things that I want to talk about. And again, interrupt me as we keep going. So why are you blogging? The number 1 reason before you go ahead and you do anything is you have to know why you're doing it. You know, if you know your why, things become a little bit easier. You know, always know why you're doing it, because once you know why you're doing it, you can attach different goals, different metrics of success to the why. Now the why can be as simple as, I'm blogging so that my grandmother in New Jersey gets to see how the family is going on. You know, you're video blogging because it's kind of like a daily diary for the family, and it's their family archives, if you think about it. You know, Roger's not blogging, I know that. No,
I did like 4 months ago.
He said 4
yeah,
months ago.
well, that's regular for you. You're the type of you do. But you know why you're doing it. So there's only a couple of reasons, you know, to simplify things why I blog. So there's 3 typical blogging goals that I attach to the why. And any one of these could be appropriate for you. It could be more than one. You know, if why you're up blogging is up, if why you're blogging is not up here, raise your hand, let's talk about it. So goal number 1, you're trying to create content for community. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to develop a community around your product, service, brand, trying to create a community around your family, staying in touch with things. You know, you love knitting scarves for cats. There's a big community for that on the internet somewhere, I'm sure. But anything like that, you're trying to create a community, become a part of a community. You know, this is also, you know, a lot of nonprofits fall into that, a lot of community outreach, a lot of people with special missions would fall into this stuff. 2, you're creating content for positioning. So the positioning could be a number of things. 1, you want to be perceived as a subject matter expert about what you're writing about. You could also be creating content that to be indexed for search engines, so for search position. So there's a lot of different reasons, but mostly it's for search and it's for subject matter expertise. So the third goal is you're creating content for conversion. You want somebody to do something after they read whatever you wrote. So conversion points are, I don't know, you may want them to sign up for your newsletter. You may want them to buy something from you. You know, conversion and commerce, you know, kind of go hand in hand. You may want them to call you to, you know, buy your product. You may want to get them to hire you. You know, anything like that. So that's all. Those are all conversion points. So those are the 3 goals. So now, the people who blog regularly, are you clear why you blog? I'm going to put you on the spot. Which one do you fall into?
Yeah, I'm creating content for my community.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Within the first one. Anyone else want to answer? You blog every day, so I'm going to put you on the spot a lot.
Yeah, it's to help, as we spoke during the break, older adults to get familiar with social media apps, helping my community I live in. Also sharing the skills and knowledge.
Awesome. So you're blended. So your why is a little blended between a couple of things. So what I always ask everybody is, when you start blogging, what are you passionate about? You've got to tap into some sort of passion. Blogging equals passion on some level, because if you're not passionate about what you're writing or the content that you're creating, nobody else is going to be. You know, I always say, you need to know your audience and who you're writing to. You know, if you tap into your passion, you can figure it all out. Who are you writing to? What other people are out there that are like you, that share similar interests? Whether it's just the interest of having them hire you. So truth bomb number 2. If you de-gaff, your readers won't gaff. You know what de-gaff means? If you don't give a fuck, your readers won't give a fuck. Plain and simple. You have to have some sort of passion. So have passion in whatever you write and whatever you do. So that's truth bomb number 2. So stay in touch with your analytics. Because what you need to know is, you need to know, if you're blogging every day, you need to know what topics people are, what pages they're going to more. What content that everybody looks at and everybody is sharing and everybody is reading. How can I create more of that? How can I create stuff that supplements that? You know, if you're creating a community, you know, this is a great way for you to start to put your toe in the water and say, okay, my community is really passionate about this. Let me bridge the gap between my mission, my community, and let content and blog posts, you know, kind of bridge that gap into getting more of them. Or to get your community fired up about something and get them to help you with your mission. So here are some hows of blogging. This is going to be common sense stuff when you look at it. This is not going to be rocket science. This is not going to be any of that stuff. So one thing I think I kind of brushed over was, were there any goals that were missing? Let me go back to this. So creating content for conversion, content for positioning, content for community. You guys think I'm missing any goals there? A lot of times people say, making money. I'm blogging to make money. I want to make money.
Well, that's conversion.
It's a conversion point, but at the same time, it's one of those things. So conversion is one thing, but conversion and revenue aren't always the same thing.
Sure.
But I always say that generating revenue is not a goal. It's a byproduct of meeting one of your goals. So that's just kind of something that I always kind of keep in mind, that if I'm able to meet those goals consistently, you know, the revenue is going to come. Now, very, very few of us are the 1%ers of bloggers. You know, the people who get paid to blog. Like the Darren Clarks of Pro Blogger, or the Brian Clarks of Copy Blogger. Like, you know, those people are few and far in between. You know, chances are they're not us. You know what I mean? We're doing it for something else. We're doing it for personal reasons. We're doing it for a brand. And the money is coming as a byproduct of all of those efforts, not as a direct need. So here are some common sense hows that we have. Pick the platform you're most comfortable with. I'm a WordPress guy, so there's no surprise what I'm going to blog on. You know, I also blog from time to time on Medium, medium.com. If anybody wants to blog on it, I have some invites. So just get with me and I'll send you an invite to it. Medium is a short form blogging platform. It's started by Ed Williams, one of the co-founders of Twitter. It's supposed to be longer than a tweet, but not quite a blog post, so it's a medium format. If anybody's interested. I know, they're so clever, right? You know, if Blogger works for you, or, I don't know, Tumblr, or whatever. You know, I don't care. Facebook, whatever. Just the act of doing it is the most important thing. So pick a platform that you're comfortable with. Because if you're comfortable with it, you're going to use it. You know? If it's cumbersome, and it's clunky, and it's hard for you to use, you're not going to use it. So read. Reading is like the fundamental of blogging. There's no surprise, there's a huge correlation that the more blogs I read, the more blog posts I write. And I think that that's a number of reasons. One, because I think that it stimulates some topics in my mind. I think two, because I feel really lousy about myself as a blogger that I'm not doing it. You know, and I'm just like you guys too. I fall into all the traps. I'm too busy, I'm this, I'm that, you know. But, you know, we'll get to some of that later. But reading, the more blogs I read, the more I write. And I think that's true probably with any form of writing. You know, I don't know if it's true with all the different types of mediums. Do you follow any video blogs?
Yeah, Clintus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow him. But I don't want to make it sound like the video blog thing is my main thing.
No, I know that. I was just
something
asking
for
you
my
because
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you find that that's true also? Like the
Yeah.
boards,
Oh,
like,
if I watch Clintus, yeah, you bet.
like I saw he was in Vegas the other day with the kids. And
Right.
I'm like, thank God I'm not in Vegas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it gives you ideas of different things to do, and it makes you take action. And the second part of that, you know, what I said is really true because I really do feel lousy. My God. Chris Lemma, you know, WordPress guy, like, he's blogging every day. How come I'm only doing it once every 2 weeks? Like, what's going on? So it makes me step up my game a little. It's competition, healthy competition among ourselves. So everybody asks me, what's the perfect length blog post? Get ready for this one. This is like lightning, enlightening stuff right here. The perfect length blog post is as many words as it takes for you to clearly and concisely convey your point. I know it's common sense. I told you, you're not gonna, right? So if Roger can get his point across in 100 words, awesome. If it takes 10,000 words to clearly and concisely get your point across on a real technical subject, that's the length that you should use. I mean, I believe in brevity, so like my posts are typically 200 to 400 words in there. That just seems like my writing rhythm. But if it takes more, it takes more. So this is kind of a misnomer. There is no perfect length, obviously. So just write until you feel like your audience is getting what you're writing about. So don't fall into some of the common traps that all bloggers fall into. Blogger trap 1, I'm not good enough. You know, Chris Lemma actually did a presentation at Pressnomics, a WordPress camp here run by Josh Strebel last month, and he did it about self-doubt within the entrepreneur. And how none of us, you know, who are entrepreneurs or anything like that, you know, we all have our stuff together, and we're not going to admit that we ever have self-doubt. And we ever have those moments that we're not good enough to do something. This happens all the time. You know, I'll start approaching a topic and I'll say, this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. Maybe this isn't for me. And those are the topics that you really should look at and investigate. Because maybe today they're not for you to write about, but how do you get to the point where they are, you know, for you to write about? I'm not good enough. You know, I didn't pay attention in ninth grade English class. I can't spell. Well, don't worry about any of that stuff. That stuff can take care of itself with different tools. You know what I mean? So everybody falls into this, and constantly I'm into this also, where I'm like, I don't know if I should do this. So we're all there together. Track 2. Who would want to read my posts? I'm writing this stuff, it's the old, if you build it, will they come type of thing, Who wants to read this stuff? I don't know. Everybody has an audience, no matter what, These are all things that would go through our mind. Track 3, I'm too busy. I think a lot of people fall into this one, where they want to blog, but I'm just too busy. I'd love to start a new blog, but I'm just too busy. Well, the way that I handle the I'm too busy is I schedule writing as a business activity. And just like I would take that meeting with a client at 10:30 on Wednesday morning, I schedule time in my calendar to write. And I find that gets it done for me. If I take it seriously, I give it the respect that it deserves. Blogger track 4, the SEO track. Nobody falls in this one, right? What should I write about? Well, what's going on in the industry? Okay, what keywords should I use? What should I use? What should this title be? Let me think about, where should my links go? What should I link out to? Don't worry about it. It's going to come naturally as you write. Write for people, not for search engines. Always write for the audience reading your posts than for the search engines. If you develop an audience, the search engines are going to know that. They're going to know what content of value looks like. Believe me, they will. Don't fall into the SEO trap. So many people fall into that, and they get paralyzed by, what's it, paralysis?
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, paralysis by analysis, something like that. And then you know what happens? They're so busy analyzing stuff, they don't write. They don't have time.
Yeah.
I scheduled 2 hours to write this blog post. Well, I did an hour and 45 minutes worth of research. There's no way I can write it in 15 minutes. I'm going to go watch football now. You know what I mean? So don't fall for the SEO trap. Write for people. Write for your audience, write for your company, write for yourself. Don't worry about the bots and all of that stuff.
So that includes, titles gets me too, because I'll come up with how I feel, and that becomes like my title.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I got this plug-in for WordPress,
Oh boy.
right?
Yeah.
Where it says, your title doesn't have one of your keywords, right? So, and then I gotta, like you said, spend 30 minutes trying to think of a good title.
So there's 2 things to that. Yes, I'd be remiss if you didn't pay attention to your title. I think I'd be steering you way down the wrong path. You do have to pay attention to that. But at the same time, if that title is so contrived that it's not authentic to you and what you're doing, then your audience is going to say, who the hell wrote this? Or it's a bait and switch title. Ever get a bait and switch link?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I don't know, how to become a better blogger maybe was the title, and then all of a sudden, you click on that link and they talk about selling you web hosting.
Right.
Well, the best bloggers use this web host, and this web host, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. You know what I mean? Be authentic. But at the same time, pay some attention. But some attention, not all of your attention.
It seems like the way to kind of get around the SEO trap is when you sit down to initially write whatever you're going to write on, you should at least just go on to Google and start typing in what you think your topic's going to be, and just look at the drop down.
Yep.
They auto suggest,
Yep.
and it might give you a better suggestion.
Yep.
And then, and if you're using the Yoast SEO plugin, so in your post, there's a field where you can put in what your keyword's going to be for that post. Do that before you start writing, and then that way it's there, and you don't have to think about it anymore.
That's a great way to go about it. And I actually don't title my blog posts until they're done.
Yeah.
So I put one up there because I feel like incomplete.
Right,
Up there
right.
to get started. I feel like I'm the cart's before the horse. So I put a title up there, I write it, and then I look at the title, I'm like, does this make sense? It doesn't match, all the other limited research that I did. And again, I want to be as authentic as possible because chances are, a lot of people reading your blog are people who know you and know what you do already. So they're coming to your blog, often, once you develop that community. type of thing. You know, they want to know what you have to say about this, not what Google thinks you should say about this and whatnot. And the same thing, you know, with the teaching that you do back there, you know. I think that, you know, the more authentic you can be with that stuff, you know, I believe in a level of authenticity and transparency. So, write, edit, or write some more, edit again, press publish. I know so many people who the publish button is the scariest part of their blog. Like they cringe when they look at it. Like, wow. Anybody ever feel this way? Anybody ever? Right? Right? You write this post and then you're just like, should I publish it now? Should I read it again? What should I do? You know what I mean? I think that just press publish. Nothing on your blog, nothing on your site, nothing is going to happen until you publish something. And you know what happens? It's never going to be perfect. If you wait for it to be perfect, you're going to keep going. Write some more, I'm going to edit, and I'm going to write some more, I'm going to edit, and you never press publish. And nothing happens unless you press publish. Stay detached from the results post to post. Now this is a tough one. Because there's been situations when I write a different post and I think that this post is so good, I should probably get a Pulitzer. It is awesome. Like, you know what? I mean, the bloggers that I look up to, the Jay Bears, the Malcolm Gladwells, you know, they should probably read this and then call me and congratulate me. This is good. You know what kind of traffic that post gets? It gets minimal traffic. I write something off the cuff from a hotel room when I was in Hawaii. I got 150,000 views in a month. You know, I can't figure it out. I wish I could figure it out and tell you and give you the secret to it. But I just try to stay detached from the results now. You know, I will say that the posts that I'm proud about, and especially in the WordPress arena, that are a little bit more technical and I put a lot of time and a lot of thought into, over time, they perform the best for my site and for me. Instantly, people want to know, you know, other stupid stuff. People like to share other stupid stuff until they're searching for that exact thing that you wrote about. So I try to stay detached from post. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm not a Google Analytics junkie. I'm in there every day, sometimes 15 times a day. You know, it doesn't mean that, but I just try to stay emotionally detached from the results. So now the when's of blogging. When do you blog? How do you do it? You know, all that stuff. Give writing the respect it deserves. Then write and schedule time and write. You know, over the course of 5 years that I've been running my company, blogs has been, you know, writing blog posts have been the best way for people to get to know me, get to know my personality. You know, then hire me at some point. And over time, this has been one of the best things that I've done for my business consistently. You know, so I give it the respect that it deserves. If you know your audience, you'll know when to post your posts. Everybody says, don't post. You should never post on a Friday afternoon. Well, if your audience reads on a Friday afternoon, why wouldn't you post that? Your analytics are going to tell you that type of stuff. So know your audience. Know who you're writing for. You know, if you write for, businessmen if you write for business people in the WordPress community, I know that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are good times for me to post. If I'm writing personal stuff, I know, like, believe it or not, like Friday evening, Sunday have been good times to post. Like that would go, Friday evening, Sunday would go against everything I would ever think, but the analytics for me say that's when I should do it. So I do. You know? So know your audience. Remember who you're writing for, and they'll dictate when to post. So if you learned anything today, remember, know your why. Why are you doing it? Know your niche. You know, what are you writing about? Be passionate about it. Nothing matters unless you write. And don't complain, just do it. Because everybody complains about it. So, that's it. Any questions? Let's talk about things. Who wants to go first? How about that? There we go. Someone's breaking the ice.
So when you were talking about the length of posts and how you don't know sometimes why a post takes off, I think when I was doing our company newsletters, I would sometimes get a lot of times from our CEO these Seth Godin
Yeah.
blog posts. Which
Don't
I
you
just-
hate them? They're like 25 words,
I
right?
know.
25 words, 150,000 views.
And then I had to think about it, what is he saying?
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's, what is this guy talking about? He like broke two
Right.
sentences.
Right.
But for some people, that's all they're looking for. They're looking
Yeah.
for something to spark an idea,
Yeah.
to get them thinking,
Yeah.
and that's all he's putting out.
Yeah, he's like very what, like metaphorical,
Yeah.
philosophical. He wants to stimulate thought. You know, he's
But I think a lot of times, like in our lives, that's all people want. They want one idea,
Yep.
and then they're going to go on with their day.
Yep.
They're just looking for information really fast. But when you take time to write those long, like tutorial type of posts, like a person really has to sit down and
Yeah.
take a lot of time to go through that.
and they also, and that's not the everyday reader. That's somebody who's specifically searching for that answer. So one thing I didn't talk about, but you brought it up now. Now we're talking about this. How do you find content to keep writing about? Like that's always a tough one for people, and that's like one of those writing blocks. Like what do I write about today? Well, I'm not gonna write about anything because I don't know. I have writer's block. So for my business blog, for my WordPress blog, I do a lot of speaking, do a lot of mentoring, work with a lot of clients. I keep a running list of questions they ask me, and if they're asking me that question in person or in a setting like this, you know that people are searching for it. You know, and it's also that question that, you know, if they're asking it and it's one of those questions that seems so obvious and they feel awkward to ask it, kind of like, why am I in this room and I don't know the answer to this question? I don't belong here type of thing. That's definitely something that you should write about. Because you know that those people are not alone in thinking or researching that stuff. So that's a great way to find content. Other questions? Yep.
For the,
I called that in before your hand was even
I
fully up.
did, you can sense it. For the business blogs, how important is it when you've got multiple people that might be contributing, that it appears that it's multiple people instead of just putting it up as like an admin?
I think that that's very important. So any kind of multi-author blog. So Tales of a Startup is a good example. I write articles there. Susan Byro will write an article there. Chris Connery will write an article there. We all are very different people with all very different voices and personalities and things like that. So people who come and read Susan's articles, they really connect with her. While they may not connect with me or may not connect with Connery. You know, it's all that type of stuff. So I think it's really important. And the type of way to do that is make sure that, you know, each person has their own author login and attribute the post to that. And then also use an author box at the bottom of the site so that, you know, people can read more about that. And then even like a lot of multi-author blogs will even have a custom sidebar. More posts from this author type of thing. So I think it's really important because people are connecting with that person and it allows them to connect even further. You find the same thing or agree, disagree?
No, I agree. It's. I'm in a situation where I'm not really supposed to be like a face, but I'm writing most of the stuff. And
You're
so,
a ghost.
Yeah, I'm a ghost. So
I can see it.
yeah. If I waited for my boss to do it, she'd blog like twice a year. So it's one of those things where it's like how I don't want to seem just genuine and put her face on it and make it seem like she wrote it. So
Yeah,
right now everything's just admin, you know.
Yeah, so that sounds like that's probably an internal strategic conversation to have, which I had a boss once. That's why I started my own company, because I kept getting fired from that boss. Actually, I allowed a lot of people the same opportunity of firing me here. But that's just a conversation I think that's important to have. And I think that how do I say it, the more factual you can come at this conversation, the less hurt feelings there will be, type of thing.
I was just gonna say too, because if you ghost post and have your boss's name on it, and then she gets caught somewhere or he gets caught somewhere,
Now
then-
what, right?
Yeah, and that's really, really uncomfortable.
Oh,
so
sure.
pitching it like that, saying like this is why it's or
Yeah.
something, because I think like people who ghost tweet or something like, oh, if somebody got caught at the gas station or the coffee or water cooler, like because social is so authentic, like you can see straight through that and catch people off guard. And I think it only has to happen one time before they're like, okay, maybe I better put my name on something that I really did write.
Yeah.
And maybe it's an opportunity to say, maybe you're not the best author. Like maybe our people don't want to hear from you, maybe they want to hear from other people or something.
Yeah, and also, you know, the more authors that you have for a company, the more authentic the brand is, and the more transparent the brand is. And chances are your clients may not work with the boss directly. They may work with this project manager or this account manager, and it's nice for them to connect on many different levels and kind of, you know, get routed deeper with the company. So those are a couple of things that I would.
I would also say, put forth to her that having them written by admin
Yeah,
is a turn off.
Who's admin?
Is a turn off for an awful lot of people because
Yeah.
there's nobody real for them to connect with.
Yep.
Sure.
No matter how
Absolutely.
real the voice is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think admin is like the word, or staff. Staff is the second word to admin.
Yeah.
Staff's an infection, it's not somebody who writes
Yeah,
posts.
exactly.
Oh,
I like that. I'm gonna use that next time I
Yeah, I
talk.
like that too.
I'll give you attribution, Kathy.
So the other thing that I'm starting to get into is I'm looking at, I just switched over from Constant Contact to MailChimp. And I like the fact, because what I like for different sites that I'm trying to do, but now I'm intimidated by all these tags that MailChimp has, these meta tags or something that you
Yeah.
have to create. I wanted to have where people sign up, like on the site, whenever there's a new post that I post, that they get notified. It's kind of like how
So that's a
happened in
conversion
WordPress.
point. That's a
Right.
conversion point of your site.
So that's what I'm trying to do. So, because what I notice is I'm very active on social media, but I'm trying to bring them back because I've had my website for a long time, but it was just a splash page because I was working on WordPress. And WordPress was like ranked higher than my website because this is where I was blogging because I didn't have a website.
Because that's where you keep adding your content.
So now I've switched over, it's integrated.
Right.
The WordPress is the back end, and I
Right.
have my website. So I'm building up the website. So I finally made it to the first page with my website. But now I'm trying to get people to come back. Right now I use, Facebook, Twitter, so on, and then, link to the post. But I'd like to, get people, start encouraging them to register, sign up, to my site. What tools, do you do something like that? Like, do you use like a MailChimp service or another RSS or something like that?
No,
How do you get, because it's
I think
got
it's
to be a
like
plug-in or something,
Feed
right?
Blitz for like that little startup. I
Okay.
think that's one that we use.
Feed Blitz.
Feed Blitz, I believe. Something like that, but.
And people will come up
But
and
the
sign
thing
up.
is that, so it's a good point. Like you want to broadcast your content in the best way for your audience to receive.
Yeah, because they all over the place.
Exactly, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So you know that, X amount want to read it on social, Y via email, they're in is it Feedly now, the new version, the new Google Reader type stuff.
And then at
different
different
RSS
hours.
feed.
I
And
mean,
at different
you-
hours.
Yeah.
So I think that it's important to know where your traffic is coming from, and how you're perceiving them to want to get your content, and then to get them to sign up, to get more people to sign up, I would look strongly at your calls to action. Maybe at the end of every post, or something. Hey, if you want to read more of this, sign up for get these wonderful blog posts that I write every couple of weeks.
I'm going to get better, that's why
get
I'm
all
sitting here.
get these blog posts in your mailbox.
Right,
That
okay.
type of stuff.
I took a 30-day for better blogging, but to make money off your blog. And I was just gonna say it's a realchange.tv, and she does a really good job of how do you so they read your blog, so what?
Yep.
That conversion
Yeah.
point, and that's not something where I personally that's not a point where I'm at right now to make money off my blog.
Yeah, me either.
But just thinking about how do you get people even just to sign up into the newsletter, sign up into your stuff, she does a really good job
So-
with that.
And another one is Derek Halpern.
Yes.
Derek Halpern of Social Triggers.
Yep.
Yeah.
He also is one of these aliens in conversion when it comes to that stuff. He's just super smart when it comes to some of that stuff. Kathy?
Do you go back and review your past posts?
Oh my God,
See
and I
if there's
cringe.
updates or new versions of new content? I ask this knowing your answer, but I'm kind of asking it because it's a commonly missed piece.
It's kind of like reading your 6th grade diary when you're in 12th grade. I mean, should you have either of those things? Not saying that I did. No. But you know what I mean? It's just like, wow, I've grown a lot. I know more about this now than I did then. You know, so, but there are certain things on my site that I've written over the years. Like one of the most popular posts on my site is like a quick 10-step how-to guide for SEO for WordPress. Man, I've revised that like 3 or 4 times now since that's been written. So what I'll do is on that one, I'll link to, you know, I'll put something on the bottom of it, or at the top of it actually, and say, you know,
Revised.
this is revised on this date with a link to that article, because you don't want to keep giving out old information.
Right.
It's not like good luck when somebody tweets out an article like, hey, WordPress SEO tips, 2010.
Right.
Oosh. Cringe. You know what I mean? Like, anchor text. Like, no, not anymore. But yeah, so I go back, and if it's anything like of value like that, I'll revise it. If it's kind of a rant or something like that, I just try not to read them.
Well, I'm thinking more in terms of the evergreen stuff, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that stuff is, you know, if there's a revision out there, you know, I'll just put a link on the top of the post, say, new version, you know, 2013, you know, Google Hummingbird version, you know, SEO best practice, or something like that. So yes. Anyone else? You gonna let me off the hook here? That could be cool. All right, well, thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys listening to me. And if you have any questions, you can find me on Twitter, grtaylor2, or marketingpress.com. Thanks, guys.
Mr. Brad, we follow each other. I'm at Ronnie Peters.
Oh, my other NBA fan.
Yes. I was like, oh, we have
We've
never
spoken before a
met.
couple times, yeah.
Yes. When I was
It's all about you.
when I was trying to
Now.
hire you to do video, and you
Yep.
passed me off.
Yeah, this is Roger.
And you didn't even know about it. You told me about somebody
This is
else.
years ago.
Yeah.
It was
Sir.
a real
Wow.
change.
What's your name, by the way?
And after that
I'm sorry.
conversation, you went to
Alright,
video.
I'm Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice to
But
meet you.
it's been great.
Yeah.
I just like the way that she didn't set up the class.
Hey, at least you're
So I lost a bet already. I said Suns are not going to win 20 games
Oh, yeah?
this year.
Yeah.
And everyone won 6 already, so I'm taking the 9 and Suns game next week. I'm just like getting in front of that now, so I can root for the Suns and not root against them.
I know.
But we're gonna, I talked to Ward Andrews a lot.
Uh-huh.
He's huge. He's
Wow.
the one that's always.
They just really disrupted that team. But it's good to see those
They
twin
did.
brothers, though.
Yeah.
I was like,
Marcus and Marquise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
what Kansas.
I've always been surprised you don't do more with the Mercury thing.
With the Mercury.
Are you surprised? How many men actually do anything?
So,
Well,
I'll say,
that's true.
I married you one of the few.
I know.
I had to say.
I have been to a lot
They
of
are-
Mercury games.
They were
And I
champions.
do
so-
find the Mercury